Okay, hello everybody. It is a rainy Friday afternoon and the painting is finally done in the house. I've got some furniture that still needs to be put together and stuff from Ikea. And it's finally time for this craft room to somehow become a craft room. At the moment it's a dumping ground. Do you want to see? Let's do it before and after. So I seriously actually doubt that this is going to take me like the one day, but I can live in hopes and dreams. So my plan is to try and put this bed to the back there, and I'll get a desk, and I've got two of these really nice plinths. I might put them just there if I can move the bed around. And then this wall behind here, I have a big shelving unit going in there. So that's my plan. All of these. That. And there's another one over there. That's all yarn. Yep. So I'm really happy that this bed fits in this spot, because now I don't have to get rid of the bed and it can double as a double bed if people come to visit me, and it can be my little knitting couch once I get kind of a nice comfiness on it. Now, next step. I don't know what the next step is. I'll get back to you. I've decided to try to set up this shelving unit because I need to put stuff places. So, and I've also just popped in this really pretty little lampshade, which is all cutouts. You might not be able to see the big light, but it's lots of little cutouts, little white light, because I need lots of light. So that'll be nice. So let's see how this adventure goes. I'll probably be on the floor, so. This is the good stuff. It's all pretty. Look at the pretty boxes. Look at the pretty. Oh, by the way, have you seen this? I probably have already talked about this, but amazing, right? Yes. So let's go in pride of place. Maybe up higher. Oh, you're so beautiful. So I'm just going to go through everything that I own and put it places. Okay, so that was so much fun. I know that I'm going to change it all around, but I decided for the first time that I would go by country, because it's Babbles Travelling yarns. You know, I did travel the world and I picked up all this yarn all over the world, you know, so it's quite nice to do it like that. So up here is my first stashes, First stashes. And the majority is the first stash, which means it's all Australian and New Zealand yarn. Now, I have had 2 extra from Circus Tonic Handmade arrive, and I've also gotten a shipment of Nix, which is the outlaw yarn. I got, and the rest of it is behind there. But this is Dingo Dye Works, some Morrison Sons, some Aussie Farmers Harvest. This is actually a gift, and it's from colourmart.co.uk, but it's from Linda, so that's okay. And then these 2 skeins are both from Skein Yarns. And they were, the eagle-eyed of you might remember, they were in my doodler, and I ripped it out because I had messed it up, and that's okay. This is from Anne Collins Designs, this one here, and this is has been actually balled up for far too long. I need to start using that ASAP. This is some yarn that I bought in, it's just some opal that I bought in Convent and Chapel in Rylstone. And then these are some that I got shipped from Bendigo Woolen Mills. It's some bamboo. And then these are the Circus Tonic Handmaids that I bought in at the Sydney Knitters and Spinners Guild. Yeah, and this one I bought from the Yarn Medic in Tasmania. So that's my little Australian corner. I really like that. And to be honest, most of them, apart from this, is what's it called? Sock yarn. This one is one that I bought in a shop. I think it's Happy Yarn, and it's bamboo, mostly bamboo. Then I moved to this section, which is all of my Canadian yarn. Look how much Canadian yarn I got. So I got a whole sweaters, lots of sweaters quantity actually, 4 sweater quantities. Yeah, and 2 big shawls. So this is Briggs and Little, and I bought that at in Vancouver. Wet Coast Wools. I bought this at Wet Coast Wools. This I bought directly from the dyer, Ice's Fibre Arts, and I bought the brown, I don't know, brown sparkly, and I also bought this one, which has been ripped out, and I'm going to cast that back on again. This I bought by Marsha's house. Goodness, what's the name? I bought this and this actually. Yeah, I bought both of these. This is Barocco Tweed Vintage, and this is Handmaiden, I think. I should really just get it out, shouldn't I? See. Blueface Leicester. Fleece Artists. Oh right, yeah, fleeceartist.com. Really nice. And it's the gradient set, and then there's like 150 gram skein to kind of, I'm going to stripe those. Oh, it's going to be lovely. And then these are some Sweet Georgia Party of Fives. So there's a grey set and a blue set, and it's going to go with this Cashlux Spark, which I bought actually in Edinburgh Yarn Festival. However, it is a Canadian yarn, so it had to go with its fellows. And then I went to New York, and I only went to New York for 2 days, but I still managed a pretty decent haul, I think. I got some amazing Alex Creates ombre yarn, so I'm going to make that into a nice hat. I got some absolutely stunning little gradients yarn over New York. Oh my god, so nice. That's going to be a nice pair of socks for me. Some Nooch Fibre, actually 2 Nooch Fibres. I think this is Nooch Fibre as well. This is beautiful. I love this brown. I got those in Nitty City. And then this one, Magpie, I bought this in Brooklyn General. So nice. This is a DK. I didn't realise that at the time, but that's okay. And then I went to Woodland and I bought this beautiful fishbowl. Beautiful. And this is by Western Sky Knits. And I did the trifecta, and I went to Pearl Soho and I bought some beautiful Mayak. Ah, so nice. So that's my little New York shelf, which is a bit bare. I must go back to New York, obviously. Maybe not. So let's move to this one. This is gifts people have sent me. So that's kind of a really, really nice important shelf, but mainly gifts. And this is my Edinburgh Yarn Festival haul. So at the back there's tons of Laxtons because I'm going to make some really nice cable jumpers. This is actually bought in Devon, and it's a Dartmoor yarn company. The Dartmoor Yarn Company. And it's a Shetland and Ryland blend. It's called Misty Water. 100% wool from sheep that graze on and around Dartmoor National Park. Ideal for socks, shawls, mitts and lighter garments. Everything basically. Sure, I just really like the colour. It's so light and fluffy. Oh, go in. This, oh my goodness. It fell down. This is Billiam, and it's a gradient as well, because gradients. These are two of my worsted weight for kind of cropped cardies from Phileas Yarns that I bought. This is beautiful travel knitter, 3 skeins of travel knitter. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got it. This is Nora George that I bought on a whim. It's the toffee apple and combo, and I didn't really know where to put it, so I put it with all the UK stuff. But then at the bottom here is some really beautiful La Bien-Aimée. So let's just call it the European shelf and just get over it. La Bien-Aimée. And oh, I've got some more Nora George down there. This is the oh yes, I met Tracy in the queue and she gave me this beautiful skein. Isn't she wonderful? Oh, love that girl. She's amazing. And then there's some Wensleydale, Blueface Leicester and Wensleydale from Wensleydale, Home Farm Wensleydale, and there's a few little 50 gram skeins in there, and they're going to make a nice shawl. I think they're going to make a nice snow day shawl by me and Philip. Now, I have another shelf right here, and it's full of all the yarn that I've dyed. I can't believe I've dyed so much. It's kind of crazy. So this is a sweater quantity that I'm going to make. There's actually 2 sweater quantities here. These are the first skeins of yarn that I dyed. Actually, I think it might have been this one. So I tested those. So that's the sweater quantities of yarn. This is a sweater quantity of yarn. See a theme. This is going to be a... I'll just turn around here because my hand is getting sore, sorry. So this is going to be a shawl together. Because pretty, this is a gradient, and then this is I think I'm going to make the Homestead shawl by Marcia, Fairy Little, because I'm going to stripe them, and it's going to stripe down really nicely, I think. Wow! Come back! This also has been bought for a long time, so that really needs to be used, please. And then these are some skeins that I've been playing with. This whole bag is full of my rainbow mini skeins, which I will eventually get around to. And then this shelf is all of my Irish yarn. I'm really happy that I've a little box full of Irish yarn. How amazing is that? So this little corner down here is Irish fairy tale design, Irish fairy tale yarns. Down here is all hedgehog. Actually, this is a UK as well. I better pull those out and put them in UK. This is the Starry Night colourway by River Knits. Pop them in UK. Oh, this. I don't know if this has a colourway name. I forgot to ask. It's by Karina of Strand Designs. Oh, it's lovely. It's a self-striping sock yarn. Oh, I need to make that as well. This is by the Sixpence Moon. And I'm going to put that together with this to do some sort of fadey goodness. Some S-twist yarns, because you got to have some Tipperary mountain sheep in your life. There's some Tivoli Aran tweed back there that I got in Bunratty Castle, and some green elephant hand-dyed yarns, little minis, and a test skein of Cushendale, which is a crunchy hardcore. I think it's actually just been really densely balled, you know. Can come up quite tight. Oh, and this is a cotton skein from Even Apple. Oh, it's just lovely. And this little section here is my current dream whips. So I want to make a hat out of that. I want to make a Declan's hat out of this. This is yarn I got in Burma. This is my So Faded that's going to happen. This is some hand spun that I've made, and I want to make into just a really simple triangular shawl. Pop. That is really satisfying. And I've got a shawl that is being made in the other ball of this, but I'm not sure what to do with that. I'm really unsure. And then up the top are my long-term whips that are in hibernation, but are looking pretty up there, so I'm just going to leave them there. Good idea, right? I've got a couple of boxes as well. This is my Yarn Swift, my minis section, my spinning fibre, and my lace in there. I couldn't figure out where to put it, so I put it there. Now, oh, there's more. Down the bottom here, there is all of my New Zealand stash that I got from Briar Patch, and that is amazing. Patterns, some books, and some art books. So it's separated into knitting books and art books. I know I'll probably switch everything up and arrange them by yarn weight, but at the moment that looks nice to me, you know, in my brain pan. What I'm going to do probably is hang up some of the super pretty one-off skeins on pegboards that I'm going to put up, and I can't figure out where I'm going to put them up. Will I put them up at the back, this back board there, make them like a central art piece? That could be cute, actually. I like that. I was thinking just here, but I think the radiator might be an issue. I think the back. And then there's also this wall just here by the window. The door is just there, so you'd come in and you'd see it. But I think the back would be so nice. What do you guys think? I know I should be locking all of my yarn away in plastic bags, but it's so pretty. It's the first time I've had it out, like, ever. So pretty. So pretty. I like it. Good morning, lovely people. You are watching the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. My name is Grace. I am Vanna Willamille on Instagram, Ravelry and Periscope. And thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me this morning. So you may already have seen the montage of me putting my new craft room together, which was so much fun. Oh my god, I've never had so much fun in my entire life. It was amazing, and it feels amazing to have space for me to stay still and have everything, know where everything is. Oh my god, it's so amazing. So should we do the final tour really quick, and then we'll start with the podcast proper? How about that? So I've taken you through the yarns already. Over here I've got two of these plinths, which actually I handmade for me when I was an art student, and it was part of my final year. It was a demonstration piece, but they're actually super useful because they open, and this is where I keep all of my fleece and an extra light shade, because you can never have too much light shades, and some acrylic and looms and stuff, and I'm not sure what to do with that yet, but that's where that's staying. This is all the things that I'm going to talk about in the podcast. My little desk, which I still have to organise a few things. Up here, if you can see, are all the cards that people have sent me with gifts, and I'm so glad to be able to put them up, because picking them out was just such a nice reminder. And this is the other plinth. Some stuff up there, a diffuser back there, and this is the bed, which now has some covers on it, but I'm going to get some nice pillows at the back there. And at the end of the room there is where I'm going to put up and hang some special skeins of yarn. So that's the final room tour, which is exciting and lovely. This morning I'm drinking some nettle tea, some pure nettle from Twinings. I kind of picked it up like randomly because I knew someone was coming over and I knew she liked tea, and I was like, I don't know, I'll just pick a few. I love it. I love nettle tea. I have it in my Marauders matte mug that I got from London from Leavesden Studios, and it says on this side, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good, and it's true. I love it. So we'll see if it's cool enough. I've got 2 tea bags in here. Oops. Oh well, I like it strong. Apparently nettle tea cures you of everything. Did you know? Oh, look at this. My boyfriend got this for my boyfriend as well, for my birthday as well. Gryffindor! Team Gryffindor! So I'm collecting all of my Harry Potter memorabilia. Even though technically I'm a Hufflepuff now, but I was a Gryffindor when I was at Hogwarts age, you know. And the way you change over time. A Griffin Puff, that's what I am right now. So, shall we start with the knitting content? You may have noticed an elephant in the room, as they say. I finally finished my Waterlily. I was hoping to podcast yesterday, which was Saturday. Saturday the 23rd. And today is the 24th, and I finished this actually on a VKN last night, and there's going to be another VKN in about 50 minutes, Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. So, but I was so delighted I got this finished. So let me talk about it. It's the Waterlily Tee by Megan Fernandez, and it was in Pompom issue something or other, spring 2015, I think. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It was a bit of a pain to make, just because the pattern itself is actually like a crop top. It's quite short, which suits some people and does not suit me. I like something a bit longer. My belly button's here, so I don't like anything that's around my belly button. It has to be at least here, and actually down here is actually really comfortable. So I had to, also it had a garter tab to start off with, but I really didn't like that because it flipped up. So what I did was I cast on with a provisional cast on, and I just knit all the way up. Latvian braid, super easy to do, super easy. And then the lace, I had to, now I'm not a very good lace knitter, so I had to learn how to do everything with the lace, but I learned it on the back, and hopefully it's in frame there, but that was a really good idea because it was straight up. There was no increases or decreases or neck shaping or anything on the back, so I learned the lace pattern there. I had to rip it out a couple of times, but that's okay because you can't really put stitch markers in because it moves, which is slightly frustrating, but it turns out beautiful. I mean, it looks so pretty. And then I came to the front. Now when I started the front, I started the lace, and then I realised that I was off by 4 stitches. So the whole thing was offset, which would have meant that the V started here, which just doesn't look very good. So I ripped it back and I counted and I calculated out the lace and the repeat patterns, and I decided to move everything in by 2 stitches, and then that would put one of these central portions in the middle. I'll just turn it down slightly so you can see, instead of me hopping around the place like a lunatic. Right, so it's still not quite right up here, but it's fine, perfectly fine. Now, one mistake I did make when making this, I can't remember which side it is actually, I don't think it even matters, but I think I added on an extra repeat on one of these shoulders, and the neck seems a bit off. Yeah, it's this side. So this side is a little bit longer because I think I just increased out when I shouldn't have, and that's another lace newbie mistake. So it's slightly off center, but who's gonna know? As my friend Laura Denise says, if they can't see it at riding at a gallop, or riding past at a gallop, then it's fine. So So it's got some nice little floofy little girly whirly bits, girly sleeves. And then you do a Kitchener across the top here, which I think is quite lovely. Some people did a 3 needle bind off to give it more structure, but I found that the neck, oh yes, on the neck I decided to do, as the notes, I read the notes on Ravelry, I decided to knit 3 together instead of knit 2 together, which is perfect, absolutely spot on, love it, love the neckline now. So then I still had to finish the bottom. I procrastinated for a couple of days because, you know, why not? But I was actually out and I didn't have the needle size with me to start on the smaller garter border. Do you know the way you have to go down a needle size for the garters? So I decided instead to be super lazy and do one of these flipped picot edges. So I first heard about this from Skein from her pattern, the Selby mittens, and I think it's quite a common way to start mitten, like Norwegian classic Norwegian mitten patterns. That you start off, you knit about 5 or 6 rows or 4 or 5 rows, and then you do an eyelet row. So you do a yarn over, knit 2 together for the whole way along, and then you continue to knit like 5 or 6 rows. And then I think you pick up and knit, and then you knit up. Do you know, you pick up the back, you fold it over and you pick it up and you knit up. But I was doing it down, so I just did the eyelet row and I just sewed it, I just whip stitched it all along, which actually turns out super, super, super pretty. There's some of my ends. I'm not too happy with the way I've done the ends, but what can you do? So it's just lovely. It lays flat, it's nice and heavy, so it drags it, you know, it drags it down, makes it super drapey. Love it. There's no shaping to this garment at all. It's just my body. It's just my body doing that. So I love it. It's meant to be a quite loose fitting garment and I love it. It's so comfortable. I totally chose the right size. I'm delighted. And I was running out of yarn, and luckily my beautiful friend Tina dropped off some yarn for me to finish off. And I'd say I only probably needed 1 ball, but 2 is always good to be safe just because it's coming from so far away. So in total I used 7 balls of I used 7 balls of Morris & Sons Paddington at 6 ply, and it is 80% bamboo, 20% merino, which gives it this amazing drape, and the colourway is Piper. So it's gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. It's totally my colour. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I knit it entirely in this bag, and this bag actually just became my handbag for the entire time of this project, which was about 2 months, so that's quite a long time. And I put the pattern in the front section here, and it's just so great. I actually lost the pattern. I thought I lost the pattern for a good 3 weeks, and I was working off my phone and I realised I put it in the front. I was like, Grace. So I got this bag from Karen from Simplystashless, who repurposed an old man's shirt. Look at the inside fabric, it's so pretty. They're so gorgeous. So thank you so much, Karen. I knit these on ChiaoGoo size something or other. I've already put it back in my case and I've forgotten. Oopsies. Nah, it's fine. So yes, it's finally finished. And I really feel like I'm in my my superhero uniform today, because I've got these leggings on, which are knit stitches, and I got them from my friend Shannon, who got them from her friend at Yoga Joe. And I think these are sweet legs, but literally, don't I look like a superhero? Like, wait, so awesome. I've also got knitted socks, hand knit socks on. Yay! Bakery Bears yarn in the Azim stream, and they're Hermione's Everyday Socks. Hurrah! Yeah, so that's super nice. I've also got, oh, you're all wonky, excuse me. Let me fix you there. My God, how embarrassing for you. I've also got another finished object. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me too. These socks are finally done. I laugh at these socks. They're just so ginormous. They're huge. Look, I'll put my hand in. This makes me laugh when I put, it's like a sleeve. I just essentially knit 2 sleeves. Huge mungus. Okay, so I knit these for my boyfriend. He's a size UK 13. He thinks. And I knit them as Afterthought heels, Afterthought socks, because I just wanted something really easy to take with me to work and on the car and blah blah blah. And I actually have meant to knit these for a long time. I originally bought this yarn, but it arrived too late for me to take it to Australia, and I actually sent it to James's house and put it in James's bag for him to bring down to me, and I never knit it. So he brought it all the way down to Australia. I didn't touch it for the year that I was down there. He brought it all the way back and now I've knit it. So I found this other yarn when I was in Australia in a shop called Spotlight, and it was kind of similar type colours. Lovely socks. But I started knitting them, and then he tried them on and he couldn't even get them past his heel because he wasn't there when I started knitting them, so I didn't know how big his feet actually were, and I wasn't a sock knitter when I was with him. So, but when I was with him 2 months before. So yeah, so I finished them off early and they're socks for me now, but they need to be darned because the heel is just worn out, and I think the heel is worn out because this kind of grey was a yarn that I picked up in Singapore or somewhere, and I couldn't read the label, so I don't know what's in it and it's not very good. So I'm gonna darn it and see what I can do with it. It looks very silky, doesn't it? It's quite a silky yarn, so I think it's not strong enough to withhold my obvious many steps. So I got a Fitbit for my birthday. James got me a Fitbit for my birthday, and we've been doing work week hustles, which is so fun because oh my God, look at the size difference. Sorry now, but just look at this. Like, I'm a size 7. Okay, so I put the heel in a little bit too far up, and there's a little bit more room in the toe because I put the heel in exactly at the apex of the, at the widest point of the heel. And now I know that you should put it in slightly closer to the toe, 1 or 2 stripes. So this is where his heel actually was when I tried it on, but I think I should have put it here instead, just so it could be nice and snug. I thought it was super snug, but now I know. The more you know. So yes, so I got a Fitbit and I've been tracking my steps, which is so much fun. And I found out that in work I do at least 15,000 steps a day, unless I'm in the theatre, which I'm wearing a really heavy lead apron, so I feel like I'm justified in not doing that many steps up there. So I feel much better about myself. I still have managed to only win 1 week of our work week hustle because some people are amazing and they only have desk jobs, and I think they're cheating. I'm looking at you, my cousin Yvonne. It's all in good fun. So yeah, obviously my socks need a little bit more sturdiness in them, don't you think? So I've got a mushroom darner, and I'm going to try and darn these with probably some of this West Yorkshire spinners, because I know it's super strong, and I'm going to do a hefty yarn darn job on them. I wonder, can I cut out this heel altogether and do an Afterthought heel? Can I do that? Because the rest of the sock is perfect. Notes down below. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I kind of just want to knit more socks for myself. But it's such a shame to let these go because they were, you know, really nice. And I wore them all the time when I was working in Australia too, so it's memories for that. So speaking of old items, I got a, so my drift sweater pattern from Kirsten Finlay of Skein Yarns, that I knit out of Dingo Dye Works in her Fair Dinkum base, which is a non-superwash, very super fine merino. So naturally that's going to pill over time because it's non-superwash and merino, which means it's super soft, super fine. If something's going to be super soft and super fine, it's going to pill over time. So hey, that rhymes. So I knew that when I got it, and I you know me, everybody. I think you've probably seen this sweater in about 50% of my vlogs because I love this sweater so much. It's so soft and so delicious, and the softness of it is worth the pilling, right? But I decided to get a gleaner inside in town because everyone had been talking about a gleaner, and some people have said, oh, you know, it's the same as a cashmere comb, and I was like, I'd never seen either, so I kind of wanted to have a look. So I went into one shop and they had a cashmere comb, and I was like, okay, it's not, because so a cashmere comb is has kind of this mesh that's sort of sticky. I don't even know exactly what it is, but it's a small little thing. It's like a little head lice comb, and you use that to come off. So I was like, it was only €3. I should have got it really, but anyway, I didn't because I didn't have cash with me. I would have had to use my card, and I had to spend over £5 or whatever. So €5, sorry. I'm in Ireland, if anyone doesn't know, the Republic of Ireland. So I went to another shop, which was only across the road, and they actually had a gleaner, like a proper gleaner. So I bought the gleaner. But turns out that it's the exact same head on it, and I spent a lot more money. I think I spent like €26, €23 or something, and the cashmere comb was only €3. So it just has this head on it, this very I wonder if it focus. I know, but it has this grating which is kind of rough to touch, and you basically get your jumper on a flat surface, and you just kind of brush it off. I can't do it right now, but a whole load of the biggest pilling came off. There's still pilling on it, but it is so much better than before. I have heard that you can just literally get a razor and take them off as well, but this does less harm to the garment, I think. So this is all of the pills that came off. And this was mainly under the arms, all along here, just where movement is, you know. And it's just brought this garment back to like just more decent. So you can still see a little bit of pilling on there. I'll put a before photo on and an after photo. But it just looks a bit more I don't know, looks less like it's falling apart. And it's not falling apart at all. This yarn is so beautiful and like, oh, I love it so much. But I just wanted it to look a little bit neater, and the gleaner totally did that job. But I think if you're stuck, you don't need to pay the 23 or 26 pounds. A cashmere comb will do the same job. You're looking for something that does that. And also a razor would probably do the job too. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but that's okay. It's fine. You get the idea. It's not sharp at all. There's no little teeth on it. You know, it's literally just this mesh made of something. I don't know what. So it comes with lots of different heads. It comes with heads for silk and acrylics and viscose. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm ever going to use them, but they're kind of finer as they go, you know. Oh, hang on, this would work. This one's kind of nice. Maybe it's like it gets finer as you go, so it takes off the smaller. Oh yeah. You see, I don't want to over gleam too, because, you know, I don't know what you'd be left with. It's also got this super cool thing for taking like, you know, dust off of dark jackets and stuff. So it's like a coat brush, I suppose, as well. And it comes in this handy little bag. Yeah. Now, bringing your hand knits back to life. Can't get over that. Anyway, now this is nothing against the yarn. The yarn is beautiful, and it's specifically her non-superwash Fair Dinkum base, which I used, and any non-superwash superfine merino would do this, would pill. So I knew that when I bought it, but it's good to know when you buy it, be like, okay, expect some pilling. So, but I wear this jumper more than any other jumper, and that's probably why it's pilled so much. But to be honest, it pilled and then it didn't pill any farther. Do you know what I mean? It got to a certain point about a month after I was wearing it almost constantly, and then it didn't get any worse. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really expect this to get too much more pilly. I think the most of the pills have come off it. We'll see, famous last words, but we'll see. I'll let you know, keep you updated. I love it. Oh, I just love it. Oh, love it. I want another one, but there's so many other sweaters I want to buy. Nah. Oh well. So I finished 2 projects, right? And I do have all these other projects that I need to do. But what did Grace do? I cast on another project. And that's fine, because I I've been spinning a lot. Excuse me, I feel like this chair is noisy too. Apologies. So I've been spinning a lot for Tour de Fleece and before. And I haven't really knit with my hand spun, apart from this little blanket that I'm sitting on. This little scrappy blanket. Just to test out my skills when I was in Australia. And I haven't added to this, and I really do need to, because I've spun a lot more since then. So I have this section here is all of my hand spun. I've shown, okay, Tour de Fleece is actually over as of yesterday. So I only ever spun 2 skeins of this black merino, which I'm perfectly happy with, because it's 2 skeins more than I had at the start. So that's awesome. So I did spin also this, which is, oh, it's just amazing. It's, I call it my mint chocolate chip, or chocolate mint chocolate chip, because it's like chocolate ice cream with like minty parts. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's a gradient by Irish Fairy Tale Yarns, and oh, I'm in love. Do you know what I love more than anything? Is this color here. It's like a sort of like a pink. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I need to use this. I haven't really knit with any of my hand spun in, I'd say, almost a year really, since I started, since I stopped, since I moved away from Australia. So I'm trying to figure out the lighting. Is that better? I don't know, whatever. So I am going to, this is some alpaca that I spun recently from Adagio Mills. This is their Chocolate Indulgence colourway. So nice. So this is my plan. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it anyway. Woo! So now, this is some camel. Camel, alpaca and silk that I bought from Felt Fine in Australia, in New South Wales. And oh my gosh, it's on their website. If you go on there, just look up the camel, alpaca and silk. It's unbelievable. The guy who owned Felt Fine at the time said that it's like their worst seller online, but when they come to craft shows it just goes, because when you feel it you realize how amazing it is. I don't know if he said it's his worst, but it doesn't sell very well, he said, online. But then at craft shows, it just goes because it's so delicious. But you should definitely, if you're in Australia or New South Wales or Victoria or anywhere along that side, you should definitely try and get some of this from Felt Fine. It is on their website. I will hopefully link the show notes down below if I ever get around to show notes. You know me, I'm terrible. Felt Fine, just look it up. So camel, alpaca and mulberry silk, I think. So I decided to cast on some. So I've been doing loads and loads of spinning and I've not knit with it yet. And I've been doing loads of spinning inside in town. I've been doing demonstrations and they're like, what do you do with it next? And I'm like, I'm gonna do stuff. So I finally put my money where my mouth is. And I downloaded this really handy PDF, which I will also hopefully link to. Just basic shawl shapes, which is so handy. It's a really nice PDF and I think it's free. I think it went up on a Facebook page and I saved it. Really, really nice. But I'm just doing a really simple triangular shawl with 2 increases either side of a center stitch and an increase either side on every other row. So it's and I can totally see my progression from, if you can see, oh that's cotton, that's different. So if you can see, there's like this super thin bit and then super thick slubby bits. This I think was very close to my first ones. I can see them because the light's coming through my side. I don't know if you can see, but there's some super thin parts over here, totally overspun, and then really, really thick slubby bits. So, and then as I got better and better, it kind of becomes more even and nicer. And then I tried some cotton and it all went wrong. But I can totally see how I've progressed in the past year of spinning. When I'm knitting with this, it's so important to knit with your hand spun because you don't know how you can make it better otherwise. There are some parts which are thinner than others, but with garter stitch you really can't tell. I think there's just a little bit here, but it's just so squidgy and soft and lovely. Oh, it's so nice. And it's so simple, and I don't really want anything fancy to take away from my hand spun because it's so precious. So I might just do some eyelet rows here and there just to open it out a bit and make it kind of stretch a bit farther. I want a really big squidgy shawl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off this skein, get as far as it'll get me, and then I'm going to do this alpaca, this chocolate alpaca, which will be super nice, I think. Oh, why won't you play ball? So then I'm going to do that, and then, well, I don't know if this is going to work, but then I'm going to start off with the brown and finish off with this teal. Now the brown is a slightly pinker brown than this chocolate indulgence, but I think it'll work. I'm just going to be striping, like, you know. So that's where I'm going to go with that, I think. A really big squidgy 3 skein shawl. Now I didn't measure my yardage. I didn't measure my grist. The twist angle on this is a little bit low. So I could have added more twist when I plied it. I don't care. I'm not going to run it through again. It's knitting up perfectly. It's going to be a big squishy shawl. It's not for socks. It's not for a jumper. It's not for anything hard wearing. So I really don't mind that it's not very highly twisted. It's so squishy. But it actually, if it was more highly twisted, it would make it easier to knit. So let's talk about this a bit. So if you can see here, it's not really focusing, sorry, but each of these stitches has the two, they look like separate plies, and they are separate plies because they weren't twisted together enough. And so it is quite easy to pick up you know, to knit into these twice and like increase accidentally. So I've just got to be careful about picking up stitches. And I'm using size 8, US 8, 5mm Haya sharps. But they're not very sharp. The bigger ones aren't very sharp, so I don't want to split my stitches. Maybe that's just with hand spun anyway, like that it doesn't, that it kind of does this thing, because the way it lays over the cable or something, it will separate out the plies a little bit because it's not been, I don't know, commercially fulled or whatever you do with it. Yeah, so that's my current whip of choice. And I love this skein. My colour again, hey? Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. So, oh gosh, I'm in love with all my yarn right now. It's so beautiful. I bought a little button jar because I found a ton of buttons that my friend gave me. I don't know where to put them. So, a little button jar. So I have one or two more things to talk about, I think, before I let you go. I am going to so the VKNs are still happening. They're still wonderful. If anyone wants to hear more about the VKNs, you can pop over to my new Instagram channel called Babbles VKNs, and that is I only update there when the VKN is going live, so you can turn on notifications for that Instagram handle, and you will get notified on your phone. I think you have to turn on notifications for Instagram or something. It'll come up in your feed, it'll come up in your notifications when I upload a photo on there, and that is probably the most reasonable way that you can get notified of the VKNs when they're going live. I also have a Patreon page, and we're actually really close to getting to the second tier of the Patreon, what's it called? Goals? Yeah, and I'm actually really excited about that. So if anybody does want to contribute towards the VKNs, $2 gets you, well, $2 is basically just supporting the VKN, paying the fees for the Zoom account, and a little bit towards my time to organize them and send out show notes and stuff, or send out little emails following up on some topics that we talked about. You can do a $5. Oh crap, I should have looked this up before I started talking about it. Yeah, you can do $5 as well, and that's the early birds, and anything that I put up on YouTube you will get 12 hours before everyone else, and you also get to support the VKNs, so yay to you. The $10 Patreons will also get, as well as all the other things, they will also get into their names put into a draw for a prize that I'm going to send out, and the person who won I'm going to do that every 2 months. The person who won this time round was my friend Carmen in LA. So Carmen, will you send me your address and I'll post you out something lovely. I think it'll be possibly one of the skeins of yarn I dyed. So yes, it's going to be one of these. So this is Irish wool, Irish yarn from Blarney, and it's like, okay, so we had a talk about this on the VKNs actually. I think there should be a scale of softness, okay? So a scale of softness, 1 or 0 being like a Brillo pad, like really, really, really scratchy. And then 10 being air or soft cloud. So on a scale of Brillo pad to cloud, this yarn would be a, so like, oh, let me just see, like what's a normal one? Let me get, where's the Nora George? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so this one would be a solid So this one is, 85% superwash. Oh no, that's not a standard. I want this. So the 75% merino and the 25% nylon would be like a solid 7 in softness for me. So that would be a solid 7. Blacker yarns, DK would be a 5. Spindrift Shetland would be maybe like a 3, but it's still perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? Brillo Pad is kind of, you know, going crazy. This would probably be a 1. This is Tipperary Mountain Sheep, and you can see it's got lots of guard hairs still in. It's super, super woolly and a little bit prickly because of the guard hairs that are still in there. So this would be a 1 for me. And something like Quivet or Mink or something would be like a 9 or a 10, okay? So on that scale, this would be a 4. No, a 5. A 4 or 5. Yes. So, Carmen, let me know which one of these that you would like. I'm going to be getting another shipment, and I'm going to I'm going to get another shipment of yarn, and I'm going to do some more dyeing on this base, but I really want to get some sock yarn in as well. But I need to wait for some fundies. Fundy times. So yay, Carmen, well done! My $10 patron of choice this month. Now there is only 5 or 6 of these $10 patrons, so you've got a really high chance of winning if you do. And it's every 2 months I'm going to pull for a prize. So I'll also be sending a few little extra things with it, but thank you so much, Carmen, for all of your support. I really I love you so much. Yeah, so that's exciting and fun. I think this one's my favorite. Anyway, I have choices. But right, where was I? So that's the Patreon page, and I will link that in the show notes too. What else have I got to say? I should really, oh yes, oh my goodness. Okay, so I went to art college about 7 years ago now. 8 years ago? I left the art college 7 years ago. That's terrifying. 10, oh my God. So my neighbour also attended the art college at the same time, and she did ceramics and I did printmaking. And this last couple of weeks, I've actually been inundated with amazing gifts from friends who have been to the art college at the same time. So the first one I'm going to talk about is my friend Sheena Burns. She's a ceramic artist now, and I've known her all my life. She's my neighbour. She is so kind and sweet, and I basically went up to her and I said, I'm commissioning you. I really want a yarn bowl. Are you interested in doing that? And she was like, draw it out for me there and we'll see what I can do. I was like, no pressure, but I want it. I've been looking up yarn bowls for like a year and I'm just desperate. I just think they're so beautiful and so wonderful. And I really wanted to kind of support my neighbour and support the artists that I know. So, oh my gosh, I keep looking at it and falling in love all over again. So I drew this image of a yarn bowl, a nice big fat heavy bowl with a Fibonacci swirl in the middle, which would allow the yarn to go through it. And here it is. Oh. It's just the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen. And look at the inside. Now the inside is the same glaze as the outside, but she was saying that the oxygen inside the bowl when it was drying oxidized differently, so that's why the colors are different. So you've got this incredible burnt orange and the drips coming down, and it's so beautiful. Ooh. And I love this little white section. This is all just pure chance, pure random chance. And I'm in love with this little outline that it's made. And these little it looks like a crater or something, you know? little pock marks up here, which make me so happy. It's just such a tactile, beautiful art piece. And she wouldn't let me give her anything for it. So I'm making her something. Making her something beautiful and nice. Because trades. I'm in love with it. So if you go on, I will, I don't know if she's producing that much at the moment. She's just recovering from a knee operation. So, but do definitely keep an eye out for her because she's got talents. So much talent. But she's more of an artist. She's more of a, she makes the things that she wants to make as opposed to a commercial, makes on order. You know, because she doesn't need to make it into a business or whatever. So everything that she makes is just has her heart and soul and creativity in it, and I love it. And I'm terrified I'm gonna break it, so I'm gonna put it right back down. So, does anyone know how? I don't know if everybody knows how these are used, but I pop a cake fits perfectly in there. And you wrap the yarn around into the center there. And, sorry. So it doesn't exactly sit into that little corner, but it doesn't really matter. As long as it's kind of stayed there, it can pull straight out and the ball doesn't go flying around, which is great. So I've decided that I dislike center pull balls because yarn barf, and this solves your pulling from the outside problems of it running all over the place. Just making my knitting life so much nicer. So I've got one more gift that someone gave me and that I want to show off. This was such an amazing surprise. So I was spinning and demonstrating inside in town I'll just have to keep an eye on, we had 10 minutes to begin, so I've only got 10 minutes left. So I was spinning and demonstrating inside in Limerick City for the Art Limerick. It's like exhibitions of art, and we rocked up, myself and Liz, my friend Liz, and one of the girls there, apparently she watches the podcast. No. She came up and she was like, I watch your podcast. I was like, oh my god. It's so wonderful, so crazy to see someone who watched and like in Limerick City. So she makes these incredible, amazing watercolors and prints of Irish folklore, and she deals a lot with they're like animal prints, but she deals a lot with the old Irish folklore tales of relevant to specific animals. Irish history is quite animist, really. A lot like the wren is a precious bird, and it's seen to be like some sort of druid or something, because they tend to live in caves. I think their Latin name is troglodytes, which means like cave bird, or caveman. And so they're seen as like hermits or magical. And you know, just she has these incredible, there's this one of swallows that I'm just in love with. I'm going to find her page and put it in the show notes. But she came up at the end of the day and she gave me one of her prints. And it's a little hedgehog, because I'd just been to Hedgehog Fibres. It's a tiny hedgehog with little feet and he's all curled up and so cute. So beautiful. And there's only 10 of these. She did printmaking. God, the light's crazy, sorry. Maybe I should put it over here. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. So, she did printmaking in the art college. This is the same degree I did, but she's so much more talented. Oh my gosh, she also did this fox one. I need to get more of her paintings, but I need to save up. That's what I really enjoy doing, is trying to support local artists and local, just as local to me as I can, because there's no point in getting something beautiful shipped from all over the world if you can find something close to you that's also beautiful, you know. I've so podcast I've been watching, and I'm going to be really quick because I do have to go now, but a podcast I've been watching is Will for Pearls, and I've been actually binge watching all of her episodes from like 2015, and I'm up to winter 2017, so I'm slowly catching up on her. Yay! I love her so much. She's an amazing spinner, hand spinner. The whole thing is about hand spinning and knitting with your hand spun, and I'm learning so much from her. But she was saying that, you know, if you can find something close to you, use that as opposed to finding something beautiful from halfway across the world. Of course, getting stuff from halfway across the world is kind of what I'm known for. So, but I'm trying to work on, you know, trying to support as local as I can. And to be honest, I was there. So that's local, right? That's local to me. So, okay, I'm going to sign off there because I could waffle on forever. But hopefully I will have more to show you next week. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed my setup video, and I will leave you there. Thank you so much for visiting, and I hope you like and subscribe if you like and want to see more of what I do. Thank you so much. Bye.